Hello, good morning, everybody. Rachel here from Nutrition in Bloom, and today we're going to be talking about school lunches. I like talking about this topic because I find that so many parents and caregivers have lots of questions when it comes to school lunches. And as you can guess, my approach is going to be to keep it simple. So I'm hoping that I can give you some suggestions and tips and ideas. I'll be talking about lunches this week and next week. So there'll be two parts, I guess, to this video. Next week will be a little bit different. But today I just wanted to give you some guidance and also answer some questions about school lunches that have come in. So, okay, school lunches, love them, hate them. We've got to do it, right? Just like meals, dinner, breakfast, everything else. I will say though, there are national in the US free school lunches through June of 2022. So I know my daughter enjoyed some of the school lunches she had when she was in her kindergarten year. Some people like them, some don't, but I think it's really cool that we have that option of free school lunch to be exposed to some new foods too. So take it if you will. I know, some of our kids are a little bit more selective. But let's talk about school lunches. So I really like to have a plan when it comes to school lunches. And what that typically means is to prep, but also plan out what I'm going to be offering. So I like to try to have a little bit of a rotation. I find that it makes my day go a little bit easier. Um, I don't prepare my school lunches the night before. I typically do it the morning of, but I like to know what I'm going to put in those lunches. And what I like to do is try to have those lunches be something that my kids will most likely eat, even if they don't eat it. I want you to remember school lunch is one meal out of the six meals, five or six meals and snacks that we serve throughout the day. So sometimes we focus on one meal or another meal quite a lot. But if you can, let's kind of let that go a little bit and remember that it's one meal. Um, I meant to mention this at the beginning, but I have an awesome school lunch handout that has a ton of ideas on it. I am going to link it here. So when you're watching this, you should be able to um, find it, but it has a lot of ideas and some tips and different things for school lunches as well. So, um, okay, having a meal plan, having a school lunch plan, and depending on your child too. I will tell you something. Last year, for my daughter who was in preschool, who is on the selective side, she was in preschool Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every day in her lunch, she had a quesadilla. I would make it in the microwave. It was very simple. It was something she would eat, and I would vary the sides that I put in it. So 3 days a week, that's what she would have. Sometimes I switched it up and gave her grilled cheese, but my youngest has never been one for sandwiches or for other things. So we kept it really simple. Some of you might be surprised by that, but we kept it very simple, which is what I like to do. I know that on Pinterest or you can look up these beautiful lunches, but like we don't have time for that, right? And if you do, like good for you, that's amazing. But I like to keep it simple and have some kind of plan. So maybe that means going through like three different rotations or four throughout the week. I had posted in our Facebook group, and let's see if I can find this post. I just want to chat about some of the awesome ideas and share some of the ideas that some of you had with our lunches. So, Elizabeth said that her guys have been all about turkey and ham roll ups and cheese and deli meat rolled together with a little bit of hummus or mayo. She said that her 5-year-old thinks it is more fun to a more fun alternative to a boring sandwich, which is awesome. I love those roll-ups too. I feel like I've been talking to a lot of parents and caregivers whose kids just aren't into sandwiches. I feel like growing up that sandwiches were just like a staple. This is what we had, but I don't know, maybe we're just kind of moving on, getting over it. But I love that roll-up idea. Um, Erin said when her son gets tired of peanut butter sandwiches, she puts Ritz crackers on peanut butter. So it's like another type of peanut butter sandwich, which I absolutely love. You're taking the same thing, making it a little bit different so that they might not get tired of it. Megan had a bunch of different options. Kid one, grilled cheese, cheese and crackers, sun butter and jelly, pizza bagel, DIY nachos or tacos. And then she mentioned the school lunch, which is awesome. She said for kid two, ham sandwich, turkey sandwich, PB&J, cheese and crackers, pizza bagel, yogurt. So having those bits of rotation just can be so helpful. Let's see, Rebecca said cream cheese and jelly sandwich, spinach muffin, banana spinach muffins, and then having like a little box of different foods as well. So having some of these can just be a really great way to have what I like to do is kind of have the main set. So I think of like, okay, what is that main? Whether that's turkey and cheese or quesadilla or grilled cheese or something. And then I vary the sides in there. So I might put in some kind of fruit and some kind of veggie. My kids, in terms of veggies, will typically rotate through tomatoes, cucumber, carrots. So I'll kind of rotate through what I have, and then I'll also sometimes include some of the packaged foods that I have too, which I will share on next week's video, some of those fun packages that I like to include for lunch and also for snack at school. Um, I also just wanted to share a couple of lunch boxes that I have on hand, and I know there's so many out there. I asked the question, and a lot of you like the Bent Go lunchbox, which is one that I like as well. It is this little lunchbox right here, and I'm going to open it up, and it has 5 compartments in there. Now, I like this one. I will say for my older daughter who's going into first grade, it might be a little bit on the smaller side. So we're going to try it and see. We might need to get a little bit bigger of a lunchbox, or I put something else, something else on the side with that as well. But I like this. It's easy to clean. My kids like the design, so we pack it up and it's ready to go. Typically, we will put maybe some different things in some of these. So, what I did when she was at camp last week, we typically had like turkey in here, maybe crackers, 1 or 2 fruits, or a fruit and a vegetable. And then in this middle one, we usually had some kind of sweet that she enjoyed. So that might have been a few M&Ms, a few gummy bears. She has now been helping me to plan her lunch, which I really appreciate that she wants to help plan. I am hoping I can continue to do that. And then as she gets older, she makes her own lunch so that I'm not making her lunch for her. I know some of you are really great with having your kids help you to make lunches. Which will be great as they get older too. Sure, what they choose might not be what we would choose, but as they are in elementary school, we can start talking to them about the different foods, right? And what we're putting in their lunch and protein and different things so that they understand. And even better than talking to them is by actually doing it. So, by helping them make a lunch, by giving them the choices, we're saying, this is what's in your lunch. Here's what you can kind of have from that. And maybe giving them choices. Do you want turkey or salami? Do you want crackers or chips? Do you want apple or strawberry? So giving them some choices so that they can kind of help with that autonomy. One of the other little boxes that I have is this planet box. And I don't have the bigger planet box, but I know people really like it. The bigger one is a little pricey, but it lasts for a really long time. So this is the smaller kind of like snack size lunch with just 2 pockets, or 2 sections. So I tend to like some that are a little bit bigger. I also have some that my kids actually took with them to camp today, so I don't have them on hand, but they are by a company called Seed and Sprout. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find them again after I bought them maybe 4 years ago or so, but it has one big section on the bottom and then another one on top, and they all kind of clip together. So you find one that works for you, and you do it. And if you're not using it, but you're using other things, we just got to get through lunch and get through our day, right? So, um, so those are some of the things to think about. Keeping it simple. Sometimes I like to put a little bit of a new food in there, but to be honest, when I think about school lunch, typically kids don't have a whole lot of time to eat. They're going to be eating and then they're going to go play. And most of the time, they're kind of rushing through eating. So I tend to recommend putting something in their lunch you know that they're going to eat so that they eat it, they go play, end of day. And if they don't eat it, not to stress out, maybe you offer them a more substantial snack after school. And if you're struggling with this, if you're kind of worried, you might hear me say, don't worry about them eating their lunch, but then maybe they're not eating their afternoon snack or much for dinner. Well, then let's have a conversation. We can schedule a call to talk and kind of figure out and start to troubleshoot, well, what might be going on and how can we try to navigate the whole feeding piece, which might be much more than just school lunch, if you know what I mean. Um, Okay. I feel like I was talking very fast, but hopefully you got my point. You got some tips. Um, I just want to answer the question that came in. Okay. So, a question was someone whose daughter is 6, and she asks her what she wants in her lunch. We'll usually discuss it. Lately, she's been bringing home her main item and fruit and veggies. So, she's basically eating a Go-Gurt, a Z-Bar, and something crunchy like Pirate's Booty. Um, Main would be turkey roll up or turkey and cheese roll up. She also sends like grapes, apples, carrots, some kind of variety. Her mom is getting super frustrated that she's throwing away food. At after school snack or dinner, I'll give her the leftover fruit and veggies, but the lunch meat goes right in the trash. She asked her what she'd like instead. She says mac and cheese, quesadilla, bean and cheese burrito, Nutella sandwich. I'm okay doing that one time a week, but not every day. Am I being too harsh? Okay, I really like this question. So I wouldn't say you're being too harsh, but I guess my question would be if she wants mac and cheese quesadilla, bean and cheese burrito, and Nutella sandwich, what is it that it takes too much time to make those? Like, what is it about those foods? Is it from if you're asking me from a nutrition perspective, I think those sound fine. I'd be curious if mom thinks that it has too much cheese or why not to do those and kind of vary that a little bit. Um, let's see, and the lunch meat goes into the trash at home. So I guess I'm curious, if she doesn't want the turkey and cheese roll up or kind of what might be going on there. I think, that she's eating the Go-Gurt, the Z-Bar, and the crunchy Pirate's Booty is is okay. At least she's eating something. Yeah, it's not what you want her to be eating, but I would try doing some of the things that she mentioned, and I'd be curious, is she eating more of them? What is she doing with some of the foods that need to be heated up, like mac and cheese? Can you put it in like a thermos that might stay warm until lunchtime? And just have conversations with her about it. And then if she's not eating the turkey meat, but you want her to eat turkey meat, then great. Serve that as an after school snack, or even serve it with breakfast or something else so that she still has that opportunity to eat that, even though she might not want it at lunch. Um, Also, I will say at lunchtimes, kids influence each other. So just kind of thinking about um, what you want and why you're doing it, and how to take some pressure off of yourself that if they don't eat too much at lunch, it's going to be okay. That's going to be the biggest thing, a big thing here too. So, okay, school lunch. We got week 1 down. Tell me, as you watch this video, what questions do you have? What is coming up for you? What do you need more help with? I can make sure to address that in next week's video. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about picky eater or selective eaters at lunchtime, so we can dive in there a little bit more too. Thank you for joining. Again, I'm going to link to my school lunch guide here. I will also link to schedule a free 15-minute introductory call with me so we can chat about how I can support you. Thanks so much for being here.